about the Anthony Joshua knockout win versus Povetkin. He was able to establish himself as, still to me, in my opinion, even though I like Wilder to win versus Joshua if they fight, but Anthony Joshua to me is the number one heavyweight. The man has three titles. He beat Klitschko, knocked Klitschko out. Now he knocked out Povetkin, and Povetkin was only once beaten by Klitschko and never stopped. So it was a really good performance by Joshua yesterday. It was an entertaining fight. He was pushed. Povetkin pushed him like I thought he would, but I did think I did believe that Joshua was gonna knock him out the way he did knock him out, and now the business at hand is Fury versus Wilder. Fury versus Wilder. It's official for December 1st. Like what kind of fight am I expecting? I'm not expecting a whole lot from Fury. To be honest with you, I'm just gonna be honest, man. I can't get hyped over this fight, being that Fury, in my opinion, I don't think he really got himself prepared for this type of fight. It's a thing called preparation, man, and I don't think he's mentally or physically prepared for this fight. I think that yes, he's getting himself together, but in my opinion, he's about another year away from really being in boxing mental shape. Not just physical shape. He's not in mental shape, in my opinion. So, but like I said, he signed a contract. He's a grown man. So now we go on we go on with the fight. I fully expect Wilder to not only knock Fury out. I expect him to dominate the fight. Wilder should dominate this fight. I'm being honest with y'all. He should go in there and dominate this fight. He's been fighting on a regular basis. He's always in shape. He doesn't have the mental issue that I know of, and the physical issue that I know of that Fury has. That Fury is still recovering from. I don't believe a man that was almost 400 pounds about a year ago all of a sudden, can lose all that weight and still see his reflexes. That's what bothers me. The fights that I seen, his reflexes did not look good, man. You have to have you have to be on your A game if you're gonna beat Wilder. You have to Fury the way Fury fights with his feet, you know what I'm saying, with his feints and with his reflexes, he doesn't have either at tip top shape right now. If I was doing a rating system, his reflexes would be a 4 out of 10, and he cannot have a 4 out of 10 reflexes going up against a fighter like Deontay Wilder, who's very athletic, who displays a great jab when he wants to when he want to put that stick on you. He put that stick on you very well, and a guy that has knockout power from round 1 to round 12. You have to be ready for that. You can't come in half-ass if you want to beat Deontay Wilder. And like I said, I expect Deontay Wilder to dominate. Now, if Deontay Wilder struggles versus Fury, I'm going to look. I'm going to look at it now. I'm not going to really kill Wilder over it if he looks, if he looks and if he struggles versus Fury, because Fury does have experience. I'm just and Fury is a good fighter. Fury is a really good fighter. And I thought before Fury went through what he went through, I thought if he fought Wilder or Joshua, that it's possibly that he can be favored over both of them. No less than 50-50 with both of them. So I'm not saying Fury can't fight. I'm just saying the man need more time to get himself together, and he need more opponents. He need more credible opponents to get himself together. See, people always point to certain fighters in the past that was able to, they were on drugs or abusing themselves, and they came back and fought. Yeah, I mean, somebody brought up Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm like, why are you bringing Sugar Ray Leonard up? Sugar Ray Leonard had before Sugar Ray Leonard went through what he went through. You know what I'm saying? After he retired, what he went through, he had already accomplished himself as being the best welterweight in the world because he had already defeated Hearns. He had already defeated Benitez. He had already came back in his in this rematch and defeated Duran. So he had already accomplished a lot. Yeah, Fury defeated Klitschko, but that was the only. If you name any other fighter on Fury's record that was good other than Klitschko. I know he. Who did? I'm trying to figure out who Fury beat other than Klitschko that was good. I mean, really. I mean, I'm not trying to put the man down, but Fury is the biggest. Fury is the biggest name on his. I mean, I mean, Klitschko is the biggest name on Fury's resume. You know what I'm saying? So let me see if I okay. Okay, Derek Chazer is decent. Derek Chazer is a journeyman fighter. I mean, Kevin Johnson, decent. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. He got two decent guys on here. He got a lot of domestic guys on here. Okay, Steve Cunningham was a small guy, which Steve Cunningham did drop Fury in that fight. Had Fury hurt bad. So while Klitschko was the best fighter he beat. So you can't you can't put make his situation like Sugar Ray Leonard's. Like I told you, Sugar Ray Leonard had established himself as being the best at his division. Now, yeah, Fury beat Klitschko, and Klitschko was a lone reigning champion. But you know what I'm saying? We don't know what would have happened in a rematch. We don't know if Klitschko would have made any adjustments in the rematch and fought better in a rematch, which the rematch was postponed due to what I'm saying, Fury and his his problems, his drug allegations, with the weight gain and all the mental health issues. People forget about Fury having a drug. Sorry, man, I was cut off, but yeah. So Fury, it is what it is. So I expect Deontay Wilder to go in there and handle business, and then the Deontay Wilder has to and the Joshua fight has to happen now. When Joshua had his post fight interview in the ring yesterday, he what really kind of baffled me. He said he wanted to do a poll and see who the fans wanted to see him fight. Man, the fans want to see you fight Wilder. So, hope that when that poll comes out, it goes in quote unquote Wilder's favor. And nobody wants to see him fight Dillian White right now. Like he can always fight Dillian White. He can always have that rematch versus Dillian White. We already seen it before. I wouldn't mind them having a rematch, but he has to fight Wilder first. Everybody wants to see that fight. And if Wilder knock out Fury in great fashion like he normally do when he knock guys out, everybody will be clamoring for that fight. And that's the fight that makes sense. It don't make any sense to wait another year. It doesn't even make a sense to wait another 6, 7, 8, 9 months. They need to be fighting that. They need to get that fight done for the spring. And then if it's a great fight, they can do it again. Like Wilder is not getting any younger. Wilder is like what, 31, 32 maybe. And I know Joshua is like 27, 28. So these guys are not spring chickens, man. So these guys need to just get in the ring and start fighting, man. Just start, we're one fight. Like I said, we're one fight from an undisputed heavyweight champion, which will be whoever win this fight gonna be the lineal champion and the heavyweight champion. Not because Wilder beats Fury, because Fury was never the lineal champion, because Klitschko was never the lineal champion. I keep on telling people that, but everybody want to make up their own rules and laws of who's the lineal champion. No, the lineage goes with the undisputed, plain and simple. But Wilder is 32 years old. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get this show on the road, man. How does Anthony Joshua? Anthony Joshua's a little bit younger because he was in the 20. Anthony Joshua was in the 2012 Olympics, right? I believe he was in the 2012 Olympics. Let me see. Yeah, he had to be in the 2012 because Wilder was in the 20 was 2000 was in the 2008 Olympics when he won bronze. I mean, I actually seen that fight when he won the bronze. But Joshua got to be like 28 years old. But anyway, I digress. But like I said, man, they got to stop playing with this fight. They just need to get in the room, iron out the differences, iron out the details. Because when Joshua said it's little. Joshua's 28. Joshua said we just need to get in the room, sit down, and iron out the little details. He said the little stuff. So it's nothing big. He said it's little stuff. Now I know for a fact that Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua want that fight in the UK. And like I said the other day, if Anthony Joshua is so steadfast as having the fight in the UK, he needs to give Wilder more of the money. Wilder should get a little bit more money if you want to have a fight in your home country because it's not your home state. It's your home country. That means Wilder has to come to another country, which I'm fine with that because if you want to call yourself the heavyweight champion of the world, you have to fight everywhere else. And if you want to call yourself the world champion, you have to travel. And these guys, like, I understand that, you may think that you may get a raw deal when you go somewhere else, but if you fight the way you're supposed to fight, if you go in there with the mindset of destroying somebody, it shouldn't matter if you was in somebody's kitchen, backyard, or whatever you at. You go in there with a mindset that you're gonna do this and do that, you should better win under any circumstances anywhere. Like well, Mayweather used to say he can win under any circumstances, but I ain't never seen him win under any circumstances because I have never seen him travel and go win somewhere else. So, and a lot of these guys in America, they think they are so too good to go somewhere else and fight. You can't call yourself a world champion if all you're gonna do is fight in the United States. They should just call you the United States welterweight champion, the United States middleweight champion if you're just gonna stay in the United States and fight. Now, of recent note, the people that I know went overseas and fought. I remember Tim Bradley did. Tim Bradley fought overseas when he fought that one kid, what's his name, Junior Witter or whatever his name was, and Terrence Crawford fought overseas. Earl Spence fought overseas. I'm trying to figure out who Jermaine Taylor fought overseas. I believe that's when he got knocked out by Carl Froch. I think that was overseas. And even in the Super Six, Andre Ward didn't fight overseas. All Andre Ward fights were at home in his backyard. I believe all his fights were in his backyard. So man, you got to travel, man. You can't just call yourself the world champion if you're gonna fight in America. So if Deontay Wilder, hey, he was gonna go to Russia before Povetkin failed the drug test. So they both Povetkin and Wilder fought guys back to back. Ironically, they were busted for performance enhancing drugs more than once. So, they both. I mean, I know a lot of people because a lot of people was like, Povetkin, he got busted for performance enhancing drugs a couple times, which he did, and they say they don't have no respect for him, and I really don't have no respect for guys that cheat either. But you have to also say Ortiz was busted a couple times too. So if you don't have no respect for Povetkin, you shouldn't have no respect for Ortiz. You see how that works? It works both ways. Like Ortiz was suspect too. They both were suspect. So Wilder beat Ortiz, knocked him out. He was suspect. Joshua beat Povetkin, knocked him out. He was suspect. So they both get credit for beating both guys because they both beat two guys that were under the same suspicion in the same circumstances. So people like to pick and choose because you like a person more than you like the other one, and when you like someone, you tend to get them a pass. That's just human nature. You tend to get them a pass. You tend to you know brush things up under the rug and not really get on that person for what the other guy did because you like him a little bit more. That's human nature. But I can't do that. I got to say, both. That was a great win by um, Joshua last night. I mean yesterday. yesterday evening, and that was a great win by Wilder when he knocked out Ortiz. They both knocked out credible guys, credible heavyweights. The heavyweight division is very dangerous. And yesterday, Povetkin was landing some stuff on Joshua, just like Ortiz was landing some stuff on Wilder, had Wilder hurt. So you know what I'm saying? They both be credible guys, man. I mean we just got to give respect where respect is due. Like I said, I got Wilder winning the fight, but I'm gonna give Joshua his respect. That man got a lot of gets my respect. Um, but the only monkey wrench that's not gonna allow the Wilder Joshua fight to happen right away is Dillian White talking about I'm here for the rematch. And I know how this game goes. Eddie Hearn, if he's not really, let's just say, if he's not really committed to having a negotiation for real, or really, like, really negotiate the fight, because understand this: when two promoters want the fight to happen, they get in there and they iron out the negotiations. When when neither one of the guys want the fight to happen, or if one of the promoters don't want the fight to happen, then the fight doesn't get happen. The fight just it doesn't happen. Somebody did not go into the negotiations with genuine thoughts of having the fight happen. Like I said, when two promoters want the fight to happen, when they genuinely want the fight happens, people. And that's just plain and simple. But like I always said, do not trust what these promoters say, because Dillian White is not saying that he wants the rematch for no reason. It's because he was promised a rematch with Joshua. He was promised a rematch with Joshua. And I believe he's going to get the rematch with Joshua before Joshua fights Wilder. So at the latest, now I still think the fight can happen next year between Joshua and Wilder, but I don't think it's going to happen in the spring. If it has a chance of happening, it's going to happen later in the year, maybe in the wintertime, maybe in December. Maybe in December or before that, but I don't think it's gonna happen before. I believe Dillian White is gonna have to fight. Is gonna fight Joshua before Wilder. But if I was Wilder, a long time ago, I would have just knocked out Dillian White, man, and just got Dillian White out the way. Because Wilder could have not. Look, people say, well, he just wanted Wilder to fight on the zone. So who cares? Wilder trying to go get the king. Like Wilder said, he said, I want Joshua. I want the king. Okay, if you want the king, I understand you want the king, but he not giving up the king right now. If you would have went to go knock out Dillian White 6 months ago, or before you fought Ortiz and knocked Dillian White out and took him out the picture, they wouldn't be talking about no rematch with Joshua. And then you beat Fury on top of that, and then Joshua beat Povetkin, get Povetkin out the way. Now everybody out the way. Now the clear path is to Joshua. You wouldn't have Dillian White saying, "Well, I want to," because let's just face it, Dillian White is tailor made for Dillian for Deontay Wilder to knock out. Now Dillian White is not he's not a pushover. Now he can come in there and he can give Wilder a little bit of hell in the ring. But ultimately, Wilder, because Dillian White loves to come forward, Wilder will, and he like to let his hands go. Wilder will knock out Dillian White. Trust me, in 5 or 6 rounds. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, man, you have to play chess and don't play checkers, man. You have to play. Look, the man wants you to fight in the zone. So who cares? As long as he paying you the money you want, as long as he paying you, it was reported he's gonna pay you $5 million to fight Dillian White. Now, if you can get if you can get $3 million for fighting Dillian White, that's great. That's Dillian White, man. Somebody who is tailor made for your style. Somebody is not gonna sit in the ring and fight off his back foot all day. He's gonna come forward. He's gonna try to knock you out. That's what you want. That's what a power puncher wants. He wants the guy to come forward, to come after him, so you can knock him out. And Wilder is a pretty good counter puncher too himself. He counterpunched with power, so that makes Wilder even more dangerous. But who cares if he wants you to fight on the zone? You don't have to. You look. You don't. It's not like you got to sign a 10 fight, 20 fight deal with Eddie Hearn. Just go over there, knock out Dillian White, and look, knock him out in the UK. Get a lot of UK fans because Wilder has not. I mean, Wilder say he got a lot of UK fans, which he probably do, but you still haven't performed over there. You know, you go over there, you knock one of their countrymen out. They love you even. They love you and be in your corner even more. Then you call out Joshua right there in his country after you knocked out White right there in the ring. Call Joshua out because pretty soon, and I think it's happening already. I think pretty soon, or it's happening already. The groundswell from the UK fans is going to put pressure on Joshua and Eddie Hearn to make the Wilder fight. That's the fight everybody wants to see, not just us in America. The UK want to see that fight, and in the UK, they're not going to allow Joshua to, do his Well, they like Joshua, so they give Joshua a little leeway, but I think when Joshua said, "Who y'all want me to fight?" I heard a lot of people in the crowd say, Wilder." A lot of people in that crowd said Wilder, and he talking about doing some poll, doing no. You don't have to do no poll. They want you to fight Wilder. You know that, but I think Eddie Hearn and his plans is to fight is to get that rematch for Dillian White to fight Anthony Joshua. But Hearns was saying, he was dangling Dillian White out there for Wilder. Man, Wilder should have just knocked him out, man. I don't understand these fighters, man. I really don't understand. You should have just knocked him out. Just should have went in there and just knocked him out. You still could have fought Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? Later in the year, like you could have knocked out the fight, the time span in which you fought Ortiz in. You could have put Dillian White in that slot, and then you could have knocked out Ortiz and fought Ortiz in the slot that you fighting Fury in right now. To me, that would have been more credible. A Dillian White win. Look, I know you people will say no, that's not right. But a Dillian White knockout win of knocking out Dillian White will be more impressive than knocking out Tyson Fury. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If Wilder knocked out Dillian White December 1st instead of knocking out Fury December 1st, it would have been a lot more credible because I'm gonna tell you right now, when he knock out Fury and it's fast, people gonna say Fury had all types of problems. Telling you, sometimes you got to keep yourself away from that narrative, man. You can always fight Fury. You can let Fury build itself up. Then you can, after you fight Joshua, beat Joshua. By that time, Fury should have fought two more people. Probably somebody who was credible. Then you can go knock out Fury. But take care of the people that are, to me, that are right now, that are in front of you. Dillian White only lost one fight, and that fight was to Anthony Joshua. So, look, man, like I said, you gotta play chess, man. Stop playing checkers. Stop playing checkers. Play chess. Sometimes you have to control the narrative, man. And I'm telling you, as soon as to me, Fury is in a no-win situation because if it's Fury going here and make this fight tough, and if he go the distance, and this is a tough fight, but Wilder pulls it out, it's not gonna look good, man. The first thing Eddie Hearn gonna say, well, man, you look bad versus Tyson Fury, who's been out for this such and such long and not really had credible opponents, and now you want equal money with Joshua and all this stuff. Come on, man, knock out Dillian White, man. I mean, that's what I would have did, man. But looks like Danny Garcia says he has a lot of fight left. Of course, you got a lot of fight left. Danny Garcia never took any punishment in the ring, and I just think Danny Garcia. Now, when he lost to Keith Thurman, he said he went. I don't know if he said he went through no depression, but he said he was down. He said that loss had him down. Now, if that loss had him down, at least I believe they thought Keith Thurman was a better fighter than Sean Porter. Like I really believe that the Garcias really believe that they should have beat, you know, Sean Porter, which I thought Danny Garcia was going to beat Sean Porter. So I could imagine how he's taking this loss. But Danny Garcia need to get in the ring quickly. Don't dwell on the loss like he did with the Keith Thurman loss. He dwelled on that loss for about what, a year and a half almost. This is an article from Boxing Scene. It says Danny Garcia Porter loss was tough. I have a lot of fight left. Of course, you got a lot of fight left. You're still young. Like I said, you haven't taken like crazy punishment. You've been in some tough fights with Lucas Matisse. Been in tough fight with Sean Porter and Keith Thurman. But Danny Garcia was never badly hurt. He was never down. He was never wobbling around the ring, and he was competitive in those fights. But it says right here, former two-time division world champion Danny Garcia is very motivated to rebound after suffering defeat in two of his last three fights. That's good to see that he said he's very motivated. So that means that you're gonna get in the ring in the next 3, 4, 5 months, right? Garcia lost a 12-round split decision in his WBC welterweight title when he fought Keith Thurman in March 2017 at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. He was able to get back on track in February with a brutal 9-round knockout of former world champion Brandon Rios at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. Well, of course, you should have knocked out. You know, no disrespect to Brandon Rios. Brandon Rios is a warrior, but Brandon Rios is not on your level, man. So it shouldn't even took as long as it took. But the reason why I'm gonna give him a pass that it took 9 rounds. That Brandon Rios is a tough cookie. The fight with Rios was a World Boxing Council final eliminator. I don't know how Brandon Rios was an eliminator. How he even out look. Like I said, they need to start consolidating these belts, man, so we can get true top 10. You know, a true top 10, man. But Garcia plans shift when Thurman vacated his world title due to inactivity. Thurman was who suffered several injuries that derailed return plans has been out of the ring since beating Garcia. Yeah, it's time for Thurman to come back, man. So hopefully he announce a fight real soon, so we can see what he's looking like. There's a lot of people saying reported he gonna fight Zab Judah. Man, he shouldn't be fighting no Zab Judah. I mean, you haven't been out the ring that long. I mean, if you've been out the ring 4 years, I can see you fighting Zab Judah, but you should be fighting somebody better than Zab Judah. With Thurman out of the way, Garcia received the opportunity to recover the WBC title at Barclays when he faced his fellow former champion Sean Porter in a battle for the vacant strap, which was it was a really good fight, man. I thought the fight was on the table in round 10, and I just thought Porter just pushed through, man. He just pushed through. He wanted it more. I can't say Danny didn't want it real bad, but either he didn't have nothing left or he was tired. I don't know, mentally tired. I have no idea. In a tough, close battle, Porter walked away with a 12-round unanimous decision victory and the WBC title. Now Garcia is ready to get back on the horse and chase down another world title. Both losses were tough for me, but being a true champion, I still have a lot of fight left in me, said Garcia, 32 prime boxing champion. I mean, premier boxing champion, sorry. As far as what's next, there are numerous options for Garcia. Garcia, I mean, if I was Garcia, fight I mean, I don't know if you want to do back to back, but fight Earl Spence, man. You said you want to get on track for another world title. Go fight for the IBF. Go fight. I know you lost against Sean Porter, but that'll still be a good fight between him and Earl Spence. Garcia is advised by powerful boxing manager Al Heyman, and there are numerous possibilities on Al Heyman Premier Boxing Champions label, including rematch with both Thurman and Porter, a battle with IBF welterweight champion Earl Spence. That's where he should go. Fight Earl Spence, Peterson, and several others. Don't fight no Peterson, man. What you fighting Peterson for? That don't make any sense to fight Peterson, man. So, like I said, man. I mean, Ugas. I mean, he could fight Ugas. Ugas is a tough dude, though, man. I mean, I'm not saying Danny Garcia can't beat him, but Ugas is gonna be a tough dude, man. Including okay, and then they say Ugas. Yeah, they got Ugas on here. They got Lamont Peterson. I've got I got to sit back and see what's next for me. Go back to the drawing board. Get back on track. Seeing what we've got to do to improve. I mean, I don't see Garcia being able to improve that much. I mean, his he has average to good foot movement, but guys like Sean Porter, guys like Keith Thurman, guys like Terrence Crawford, even Usyk to a large extent, a large he's not going to be able to keep up with those guys foot wise. Danny Garcia needs the right opponents. Now, some people will say, well, Earl Spence would destroy Danny Garcia, but Earl Spence, to me, Danny Garcia has a better chance of beating Earl Spence than Keith Thurman, than Crawford, and what we know now, than Sean Porter. And I'm not lying about that because Earl Spence is not going anywhere. Earl Spence is going to come straight at him. Earl Spence is not going to give him no angles. He's going to come straight down the pipe. And Danny Garcia will have a better chance of beating Earl Spence. I'm not saying he's going to beat him, but he have a better chance, man. More stylistic. It's more of a stylistic, matchup, better matchup for him. I mean, people can say what they want to say, but you know what I'm saying? I look at styles, man. I look at styles. So, yeah, Manny Pacquiao going around talking about him and Floyd Mayweather got unfinished business, man. Y'all don't got no unfinished business. Y'all don't have no unfinished business. I don't see nothing unfinished about you and Floyd Mayweather. And it's hard for me to believe that Floyd Mayweather gonna fight in December. Floyd Mayweather never fights in December. All of a sudden you gonna fight in December? September, October, November. We got like 3 months, and you gonna fight in December? Nah, I mean I don't see it. I have to see it. I have to see it. I have to see it to believe it. But another thing too, Canelo he's about to fight David Lemieux. He's about to duck. See, if he fight David Lemieux, that's a duck. He's ducking Charlo. See that's a duck because Charlo is his mandatory, and if he's not gonna wait around for the unification match between Saunders and Demetrius Andrade, then he's ducking. That's a duck. That's what you call a duck. He's ducking the Charlo brother, and it's a blatant duck if you go ahead and fight Lemieux because Lemieux is not even the mandatory. Lemieux is a good fighter. Lemieux got some power. He's very entertaining. I have no doubt that he's going to put up a decent fight versus Canelo. But come on, that's a duck if he fight Canelo. Now, Bernard Hopkins laid out the duck plan, the duck reasoning, the reason why Canelo was going to duck the Charlo brother right before the Golovkin fight when he did that interview. He laid out his reasoning why Canelo should duck what's the name? Canelo just fought two tough fights back to back. He should at least get a light touch. But that's not how it works though. Charlo brother is his look. He fought two fights back to back. True. He fought Golovkin back to back. But you have a mandatory to fight. Now, if you don't want to fight the mandatory and you say, hey, look, I had two fights back to back, drop the belt. Drop the title then. You don't have to do anything you want to do. Just drop the title because he have dropped the title before. He dropped it when after he beat Miguel Cotto when they told him he has to fight Golovkin next. Guess what he did? He dropped the title. So if you want a soft touch, look, he can have a soft touch because he did have a hard fight. Drop the title and go fight your soft touch. And then when you ready, You can come back and fight Charlo for the belt. I mean, you know, if Charlo win the belt versus a vacant opponent, whoever they gonna put up for Charlo to fight, then you come back and you fight for your title back. But you cannot hold somebody else back because you fought two fights back to back that was tough, and you want to fight another guy. Okay, so how do we know Charlo is gonna be tough for him? Isn't Charlo fighting Willie Monroe? I don't know if he's fighting Willie Monroe. Is it final? I mean, I heard people talking about it. I mean, if he want to fight David Lemieux, that's cool. I mean, if Charlo is gonna fight, I thought that was next. So if that's next for Charlo, okay, that's fine. So if Charlo is not beating the drum saying I want my title shot right now, that's fine. He can go fight David Lemieux then if Charlo got an opponent. Okay, that's fine. But then after that, after he fight David Lemieux and Charlo fight Willie Monroe, then Canelo needs to fight Charlo after that, man. If he fights Willie Monroe, then Canelo fights Lemieux. Yeah. Yeah. I'm fine with that then. If he fight Willie Monroe and Charlo and you know, Canelo fight David Lemieux, then after that they have to meet. He has to fight Charlo. I agree. Yeah, man. Because you can't keep keeping these guys down, man. Eventually, y'all look show and improve. I mean, y'all say y'all great fighters. You say you the best fighter in the world. Okay, you can get a soft touch. If Charlo gonna fight Willie Monroe, that's fine too. And then after that, y'all come together and fight. Because as long as you in this fight game, it's always gonna be a young horse after you. Now, I don't mind if you don't have any titles. If you don't have any titles, and if you don't want to challenge yourself, that's fine. But if you have titles with great reward, come with great responsibility. You have great reward. Okay, that comes with a responsibility. Those titles come with responsibility. You have to defend the titles, and you have to defend the titles versus whoever's there, good, bad, or indifferent. You know what I mean? Otherwise, just drop the titles, and then you can fight whoever you want to fight. That was just my main problem with Floyd Mayweather when he was on that bogus Showtime contract fighting people I didn't want to see him fight. If he didn't have any titles, it would have been fine. Fight whoever you want to fight. This is your farewell tour to retirement. Fine. But as long as you got the titles, man, you got to get in the you got to mix it up, man. You got to mix it up with the right people. To me, that's my assessment on it, man. But yeah, the reason why I want to see Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao fight these young hungry lions so they can put the nail in their coffin. Because as long as now Pacquiao been knocked out, he was knocked out brutally versus Marquez, and Pacquiao just continued to fight after that. But I don't think if Mayweather get knocked out like that, Mayweather's gonna come back. See, Mayweather is coming back, continuously fighting because he hasn't been beaten. Nobody has beat him up. What do you think about JERMELL calling out Floyd? Oh, he called out Floyd? When did he call out Floyd? What interview was that? Was it recent? Because I remember Andrade called out Floyd before, but what? Was it recent? Was it on Fight Hype or what? Because I want to go see that. He called out Floyd Mayweather? Let me see, man. Was it Fight Hype, Fight Hub, or which one? Was it Ellie? I want to see that interview. He called out Floyd, huh? Recently. But they need to, man. They need to. He said if Floyd comes back, that Floyd should take him as a tune-up. Floyd ain't gonna take that Charlo as no tune-up. That Charlo is not a tune-up. Let me see. You said JERMELL said that? For Manny. Oh yeah, because Floyd did say he needed a tune-up. Manny Pacquiao said he needed a tune-up. Let me see. Let me see. He called out Floyd Mayweather. Oh, here it is right here. Oh, yeah, here it is right here. He called him out on TMZ Sports. He called him out on TMZ Sports. Let me see.
You are the WBC light middleweight champion, man. One of the best boxers in the world, 31-0, 15 knockouts. You are a beast. Any interest in a Floyd Mayweather fight?
Well, Floyd Mayweather, he knows me well. He knows who I am. So I am the WBC 154-pound champion. You know, if you want to come back, I'm right here. I'm ready. I'll definitely take that tune-up fight with Floyd. Floyd ain't never took an easy fight ever in his career, so I'm pretty much, I'm one of the names on the table. And if you want a tune-up fight, I'm definitely gonna ruin that for Pacquiao. So who knows?
You're a guy in your prime. How would a fight with you and Floyd look right now?
It'll be crazy. It'll definitely get break records and shit. But I don't think that's an option for Floyd just because of the stud that I am in the ring. And if you want that challenge, I'm definitely here to accept it.
Is Floyd scared to step in there with you with a 50-0 record on the line, and he doesn't want to take his first
Floyd ain't about to fight no Charlo.
Yeah, he ain't scared, but he ain't gonna step in there with no savage like myself. So me being 28, young, beast, Floyd, not happening. Floyd not getting there with it's too much. Not to risk his 50, not to risk that perfect record.
Yeah, Floyd ain't about to get in the ring with no Charlo, man. That's not gonna happen. That is not going to happen. I mean, it's a tough fight for both, but even at 40, I'll put. No, man. No, 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 no. Not at 154. Now, Floyd, put your money on somebody that Floyd gonna fight at 147. Not at 154. Floyd have to be careful when he fight at 154. He has to strategically pick the right person at 154. And the Charlo brother is not the right opponent to pick at 154. Just not. Not at this stage in Floyd's career. Now, if Floyd was 35, I would say Floyd can win that fight, but not Floyd at 40. Now, Floyd may have a better chance of beating one of the welterweights, but even then, he has to choose the right welterweight. Nah, he choosing Manny Pacquiao. They both 40 years old. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Maybe they ain't finna pick no Charlo brother for no tune-up. Man, that's not even in the cards. Not even close to being in the cards. Yeah, man, I'm about to get up out of here because I'm about to look at my Bears game, man. I got my Bears game coming on. Khalil Mack, man, been making the Bears, defense look, top notch. But let me see what they can do versus the Cardinals. Cardinals are not that good, but the Bears are not, world beaters themselves. So we have to grind for every win. Let me get up out of here, y'all. I'm out. Hey, I'll be back tomorrow though with another one.